You're Talking Books. I'm Michelle Martin. So many of us have denatured childhoods. We live compartmentalized lives. And if you look around, it's a trend not just in Singapore but in many developing countries. Children move from one container to another when they're very little. So they move from the home, and if they're taken out by their parents, they're put in a little pram, perhaps one container. Then they move to the car, another container, where they're put in a baby seat, another container, preferably in front of a television set, so they don't even look out at nature. What is happening with a child's physical development, emotional development, when a child is deprived of contact with the world around them? Is the health of a child and the health of ecology inseparable? My book pick for you today is Last Child in the Woods, Saving Our Children from Nature Deficit Disorder by Richard Louv, who is a recipient of the 2008 Audubon Medal. This is a profound book written with great insight, and it goes to the heart of the social and ecological consequences of individuals who find themselves increasingly divorced from nature or preferring an existence outside of nature. How many times have you heard individuals say, "Oh, I'm so stressed," and then you ask them, how much time have you actually spent outdoors? Very little, increasingly decreasing that particular figure. Let me read you an excerpt of The New Relationship Between Children and Nature, an excerpt of The Last Child in the Woods by Richard Louv. In Israel, researchers revealed that nearly all adults surveyed indicated that natural outdoor areas were the most significant environments of their childhood, while less than half of children ages 8 to 11 shared that view, even accounting for romanticized memories. That's a startling difference in perception. The Netherlands, often associated with greener than average thinking, is nonetheless a highly urbanized country where the young have little contact with nature, according to a survey from 7 Dutch secondary schools. There is little sign that a love of nature is inculcated at home. Indeed, about 3/4 of pupils thought there was only a bit of interest for nature at home, and 11% said there was none. More than half never go to nature reserves and parks, zoos, or botanical gardens. Most students were unable to name a single endangered plant species and knew only a few endangered animals. It was a surprise to find even pets and domesticated animals on the list, and that is a list of wild animals or plants they would miss if they became extinct. That list, by the way, was dominated by cuddly mammals or animals featured on television. In the United States, children are spending less time playing outdoors or in any unstructured way. From 1997 to 2003, there was a decline of 50% in the proportion of children 9 to 12 who spent time in such activities outdoors as hiking or walking, fishing, beach play, and gardening, according to a study by Sandra Hofferth at the University of Maryland. And not unsurprisingly, the researchers have suggested that nature deficit is growing fastest in English-speaking countries. The development we see occurring in developing countries in general as well, though. The Daily Monitor recently published in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, a plea in 2007 for parents to get their children out of the house and into the outdoors, noting that many Ethiopians will have reached adulthood far removed from outdoor experience. What does the lack of contact with nature have to do with a rise in obesity, attention disorder, depression, personality disorders? Find out by picking up this well-written book by Richard Louv, Last Child in the Woods. This is Talking Books. I'm Michelle Martin.